Good evening, everyone. Hi there. I can see several of you. We're just going to be waiting only a moment while we gather our friends. I didn't put out a little Monday reminder, so if that's helpful to you and you would like me to do that, just let me know in the chat and make sure that I have your email address, and I will do my best to try to help everyone remember the Monday evening practice. I picked this little poem today. We've read it before. This is by Mary Oliver, in case you haven't seen this one by her. And today was a bit of a lazy day for me today. And so this poem came to mind. And so we'll use it as just a beginning reflection and consideration. One of the things I think we don't do very well, I have to say. I don't think we do it often enough. I haven't noticed that we do it well enough, is allow for a whole day of laying low, of rest, of just refueling, rejuvenating, and just allowing the body, mind to be. And I think one of the reasons we don't do it, in fact, is what we're going to be working on this evening, which is compassion. I don't think we feel worthy enough, entitled enough, deserving enough. And then we use busyness, don't we, too easily as a way of trying to balance the trance, as Tara Brach says, the trance of unworthiness with the, well, look at all the things I got done. And it would be really useful, I think, for us to practice a few compassionate breaths. And I am already enough breath. I am just as I am breath, before deciding what actually needs to be done. Because what I often notice is that probably on rare occasion, it needs to be done right now, but often it's my own way of trying to establish some kind of solid ground for something. Like, see, there is certainty, there is predictability in the world because under my bed is now clean. It's not that it's not a good thing. It's good to clean under your bed. If it's under my bed, then you'd really know how good it is to clean under your bed. Because, wow, I just got under there. We're in a little bit of a remodel, and I didn't know plaster dust could go everywhere, but I was wrong. It actually can. So it isn't that the task isn't valuable. It's that we use tasks, doing, list making as ways of solidifying a couple things, solidifying the ground. I've got this is certain. And ultimately, I have to say, what we actually know is it's a way of solidifying oneself. Remember when I said the trance of unworthiness steps in, I think often it's a way of saying, see, I'm deserving, I'm worthy enough of this life, but you already are. They're actually dust bunnies or none. This is not actually what's required. So we've got I think a good sized group here. I'm just going to look at chat and make sure. Lisa's got remember to mute. And Lisa, I think you're not saying that to me. I'm hoping that you're just reminding our group, thank you. Unless you want me to mute too. I could. I am not opposed to this. So if anybody decides, you shut up too, I'm happy to do that. I think you can see the Today poem. I can see Kathy and Sharon. Can you see that poem? Today, it's called. All right, let's take a look at it for just a moment. Thank you. Today I'm flying low, and I'm not saying a word. I'm letting all the voodoos of ambition sleep. Isn't that a fabulous line? I'm letting all the voodoos. And that voodoo is a little bit what I was talking about, isn't it? This idea that if I could only get it all done, then I could be okay. Then I could actually rest. Then my life would be ordered, organized, and in some way improved. That's the voodoo. It's simply a delusion, a magical idea. The world goes on as it must, the bees in the garden rumbling a little, the fish leaping, the gnats getting eaten, and so forth. But I'm taking the day off, quiet as a feather. I hardly move, though really I'm traveling a terrific distance. Stillness, one of the doors into the temple. My favorite line, one of the doors into the temple of our own being. Enough. Right there. And so that's our poem for today. So you can get prepared for the sitting. We'll do the sitting and then I'll be signing off pretty quickly. People have things to do before they end their day. You did a beautiful job just putting yourself on no audio, you don't, no video, you don't need it. I think we have more than, I'm gonna stop that share now. Okay. So find a comfortable posture. Most people will choose for an evening practice to be reclined in some restful way. So find your way there. You know what that is better than anyone. And so once you find your way into lying, simply come home into the body, feeling the sense of the body as it's resting, settling. We're going to see if we can begin to release some of the habit nature that even the body holds in a day. Let's see if we can't take a big, deep in-breath, breathing in fully. With that out breath, seeing if we can't release some of those tied knots that the body hangs onto, that we have conditioned this mind-body to hold. Let's do it again, grabbing a big, deep, full in-breath, and then relax the breath, releasing, letting that body find its way deeper into the earth, into the cushion, into the seat you've taken. And so if you're lying, you're going to allow the spine to really impress itself into the space beneath you, the mat, the bed, the cushion. If you're sitting, I like to use the feet as the beginning ground. Pouring one's attention down and into the bottoms of the feet. If you're sitting, into the whole back of the body, if you're lying. And wave the breath. We're going to be doing the compassionate ocean breath. waving that breath like the wave of an ocean up and over the body, feeling the undulation of that compassion ocean with each breath. The rise and fall, riding the waves of compassion. As wide, as deep, and vast as the ocean itself. No limit, no boundary. Feel the sense of that vastness, that open space, that boundlessness all around. Don't control the waves. You are not in control of this ocean. This is the vast open space that holds everything, including you. So we just let every in-breath be breathed, breathing you. Every out-breath settle us a little bit more. Let's rest in the wave of the breath for a few moments. Getting that sense of open space, that compassionate ocean holding us. We don't resist the waves, we don't drown in them. We are simply a part of the wave of the ocean and the ocean itself. Every time the mind wanders away from the felt sense of the wave, we simply invite the attention home. There's no more luscious or restful a place to be. Present to one's own body. Present to the rhythm, the natural undulation of the breath. See if you can give your most complete attention to that very rising and cresting and falling. Softening the whole body with each out breath. With each breath, we begin to restore, refuel, revitalize, and nurture. It's not only the in-breath here, it's the intention to offer what is needed to oneself. So then along with the in-breath, we're going to begin to offer ourselves what is most needed right now. This is the true response of compassion, seeing the truth of suffering, depletion, pain, or need, and making a genuine, wholehearted offer. So with each in-breath, as that wave laps up into the body being, breathing in for yourself whatever is most needed. It might be kindness, forgiveness, compassion, a gentle care, maybe simply letting oneself off the hook, like in today's poem. Letting oneself not always have to be so busy. Taking your own side. Giving yourself a break. I'm already enough. And breathe that in for yourself with each in-breath. You can imagine it entering from the portal of the heart. You can imagine breathing it in through the whole body being, every cell, every pore, like taking it in like a sieve. You can imagine maybe a warm, glowing light. Visualizing that and breathing that in. And I often breathe it into an area of need. And so if it's simply an emotional response, I frequently will use the heart, the portal of the heart. And I'll also use my hand, as we know that neuroscience, where the hand goes, so goes the attention. And where attention goes, so there goes love. And so we could simply place our hands over our own hearts as an example. I've had a recent injury, and so right now what I just noticed spontaneously is that as I was breathing in this nourishing, reparative, restorative breath, it went right to my left knee. That has been achy for the last few days. And so I could literally draw it in there, feeling its warmth. I could place my hand there as both an act of kindness and care. Besides adding my attention, I could then add the wish, may this knee find relief. And offering that to the knee and to myself with each in-breath. And so, for example, you could call to mind a moment of distress or simply make contact with one that is a little bit present here and now. And as you breathe in, make that compassionate offering, drawing from that ocean of compassion. Breathe it in, offer it to oneself. Now remember, we can offer a physical gesture like a hand. We can offer ourselves a gentle hug. The polyvagal theory says that actually wrapping one's own arms around oneself offers a real response of the polyvagal system. And so they often take one hand wrapping it around the rib, another hand wrapping it over the shoulder, making contact with that whole polyvagal system. and breathing in a calm, breathing in freedom from distress. Breathing in compassion for this difficulty. And as you breathe in, see what comes to mind and heart. You could offer a phrase. You can offer an acknowledgement. I'm recognizing this as a moment of difficulty. And with that recognition, we can make an offer of kindness, care, compassion. Sometimes words come, sometimes other images or visualizations. I just had a funny little picture of a large heating pad going over my knee. As an example, that was just a little spontaneous offering. So I can just wrap that heating pad right around that knee. May I be free from pain, free from the limitations of an injured knee. May be free from fear about this continuing. See what comes to mind for you. But with each in-breath, we once again have that wave from the ocean of compassion lapping up, touching into you. Make it count. We're not forcing the breath. We're not placing demands on a type of breath. We're just bringing this open heart along with the in-breath. This is slightly different than the Tonglen practice we've been working with, which actually breathes in something very different. This is a compassionate breath, inviting the possibilities, opportunity, a moment of compassion or kindness for oneself, which we know we do too little and not often enough. Let's practice with the in-breath. I have to say it's funny, but my knee is no longer aching. And the hand doesn't even feel right there any longer. So I'm bringing my hands, for example, back to themselves. I'm holding my own hand right now, saying whatever is bothering you, whatever the problem, whatever the difficulties, it is appropriate to turn towards oneself, offering kindness, healing, gentle care. And see what's needed. Can I feel for myself and respond with kindness and compassion? Can you feel the sense of the heart growing bigger? With each in-breath, the possibility of more space and room. Room enough to be with ourselves exactly as we are. There are many doors to the temple, and it begins like this. And if the body is feeling particularly neutral, there's nothing much happening in the mind, we can simply breathe then into the portal of our own good hearts, fueling like stopping in at the gas station, filling up. And when we get to a place, if we do, where we're feeling pretty topped off, where things are feeling pretty good, I have to say that's what's happening right now for me. I'm feeling pretty abundant, pretty sufficient, more than enough. We can then use the out breath, but only then, really, to make an offering of this goodness, an offering of this healing, an offering of this kind and loving attention to another. We can then breathe out, offering this same goodness, this same healing, the same qualities of good heart to someone else. You can call someone special to mind. You can call a group of beings to mind. All dogs who've been abandoned. All people who are feeling lonely. And you could send the good medicine of your own good heart to them with each out breath. But we keep the in breath directed towards the self. Continue that offer of kindness, of care, of goodness. With each in-breath and then with each out-breath, from that very abundance, we can send out love. And so the compassion breath is breathing in compassion or love on the in-breath, offering it to oneself until we are filled up. And then notice how with that out-breath, that abundant love, that abundant compassion, care, kindness pours out, flows out to others. And there is no obligation, duty, demand to keep that flowing out when we feel like, whoops, I'm beginning to run low, the tank's a bit low. We direct it once again simply towards ourselves. No need to continue the out breath when it's feeling like we're becoming depleted or empty in any way. Breathing love in and breathing love out. And if you notice that once again it runs a little dry or becomes a bit stale or disconnected, it often means that we're just going through the motions. And then it's important to come back to yourself and see how you really are. You might just be doing what you think you're supposed to be doing, but that's not the practice. It's to see what's really needed right here, right now. It keeps us mindful, keeps us in the present moment. How am I right now and what is needed? Let whatever is most needed wash right over you. Each in-breath is a gift. You can also invite the gift of your own open heart with that in-breath, doubling and more the effects of that precious gift. It may not be required, it just has seemed simpler to me to be filled up on, let's say, kindness or care, and then to make that offering. I guess you don't have to, it just seems to naturally flow that way for me. I'm feeling for myself and wishing relief, for example, from a particular physical ailment. The thing that feels easiest to then send others after I've offered relief to myself is that same relief. May all those others, just like me, who feel some distress in the body, may they have relief as well. And then it flows right through me without separation. Not only to me, but to all those just like me. And we can be as specific as we would want, can't we? All those who have a knee ache, all those who have a body ache, all those who are fearful of not having certain body resources that they've had. See what comes naturally for you. Feeling the direct and positive effects of this generous and kind offering to yourself. And then we can include that wish as well for others. Keeping in mind that there is no rush, there's no demand to get to the out breath. If it's just not there, keep the out breath for oneself for a time. It will naturally expand and include in its time. Remembering that we can use a gentle phrase, kindness. We can use that gentle physical touch, like the hand on a part of the body, the heart. We can use that gentle polyvagal hug. We can use a visualization. These are all offerings. See which one works best for you. And for the last few moments of the practice, we let go of directing the breath and simply breathe in the ocean of compassion. No directional, no me or you, Just the gentle wave of the breath in this vast sea of compassion. May we all have happiness and the causes for happiness. May we be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May we rejoice at our good fortune and wish good fortune for others. May we rest in the great open space of equanimity, in the great vast ocean of compassion, free from hatred, free from ill will, free from prejudice, free from clinging and craving, free from ignorance. We breathe these wishes in for ourselves and send them out with the out breath. May we all be may we all have ease. And may there be peace. May this practice today contribute. This day is good. Let this day be done. So be it. Thank you for joining me this evening. I hope you have a peaceful and restful evening. I'll look forward to seeing you possibly tomorrow at 7, Saturday at 7:30, or next Monday at once again at 8 p.m. Thank you for being here with me. Blessings to you all, and have a good evening.